it out as we go.
Perfect. We'll talk about how bad Diablo is.
That's a
I'm
good
playing
way to
Diablo
start.
like no. God damn it.
Well, we can talk about Blizzard's sexual assault allegations.
This
that a thing?
podcast took quite a turn, and we just started. Anyway, welcome to.
You know, just shut up, take it, Dan. It's not child porn. It's a win.
Well, with
Welcome-
Blizzard,
Welcome to episode 3 of the Shednanigans podcast, the only podcast on the internet that gets delayed by a week due to crabs. Now, a word from our sponsor, Bitsy's Crab Shampoo. Burn those cocksuckers right off. I'm your host, Daniel Duke.
Does he write the shit beforehand?
Yes. Yes, I
and
do.
he's Brett. Brett, say hi to the audience.
Oh, hey, audience.
I'm
I
Colin,
show
and
up with no notes. I don't have a script.
neither do I, but I want to say I'm Colin, and I want to say hi to our FBI agent.
Man,
Hello,
I'm surprised
FBI.
you didn't lead with the only podcast on the internet to say child porn in the first 15 seconds.
No, but now you've written the one for next month, so.
I don't think we
Re's
should
the
advertise
audience.
like
That's
that.
it.
Yay!
So if your girlfriend's watching and my girlfriend's watching, does that mean our audience is predominantly women?
Yes.
Yes.
So we're the only child porn / jerking off podcast for women.
Yes.
that assumes they're paying attention.
And
I'm
not just viewing for you know, out of pity for our existence.
You know, the topics that we touch.
Enjoy scrolling idly or on a phone to it.
Yes. The problem is that the topics that we touch are weird enough that if they are just there for proxy or whatever, they are going to catch the attention at some point. Like, excuse you, what did you just say?
Ah, that's our gotchas.
Exactly. Like, for example, your girlfriend thinking that we just jerked it off yesterday. And she was there.
You know, he understands the system. He knows how we work. He's cracked the code.
Yeah.
You're our marketing guy now.
We're marketing jerking off to women.
Yeah, if you know, I feel like men have cornered the jerking off market far too long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird because if you think so, there are more sexual toys for women than for men. So it's kind of 50-50. On the surface, men are taking over. On the inside of the market, I think it's that woman taking over.
I feel like there are a lot of toys for men.
Yes,
but a lot of them
not as
just do the
much as-
same thing. Like,
I mean, like what special things can you do with a dick that requires a tool?
Putting on a like a gel, like
Oh
I
my
don't know,
god!
a castity belt
Wait.
and these things that they put on their dick so they don't get bigger. This
Well, that's like anti-sexuality. I'm
Okay,
talking about
so-
like full-on sexuality.
the things that you insert on your urethra, vibrators.
let's slow down
Okay.
here. Let's slow
That
down
sounds.
here.
I think we've left that, and now we're going into the doctor route. You know, Colin.
I was just gonna say, like, real dolls. Like, man, when dudes spend money on sex toys, they get weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets
Like that
real
AI who
uncanny
was taught to
valley.
suck dick.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. I think we'll leave it at that.
I thought we were gonna just like race head on into the blowjob box conversation again.
Well, I mean, if you want to, Crab was here when I proposed that conversation last time.
I was here, maybe.
I think
No,
he wasn't because he was
I don't
moving.
think so. I
Crab,
don't.
this is mostly for you because
Yeah, I don't know if we want to talk about that. Let's not.
Oh,
My
Okay.
curiosity is piqued, but I will
Okay.
listen to Danny and not push the subject further.
This
I'm
is
not going
episode
to.
3. We don't want to lose everybody at this point.
I'm not
But
going to give the
repeated lame
specifics. I'm not going to give the specifics. I'm just going to give the question. Do you think that that males, okay, no, that masculine people, like biological males, no, that's a word, wrong. People with dicks suck it better than people with vaginas?
It's all about how much practice you get.
That's
Okay.
that's the same conclusion we came to.
Okay.
So that's that.
It's deeper, but we are not going to touch it.
Yeah,
Oh, I bet it
we-
is deeper.
it got
I mean, yes,
it got very very intimate very fast, and
and boundaries.
you know what? If I didn't want to talk about this sort of thing on the podcast, I should have come up with things to talk about.
I mean,
Well,
try to
we
come with
learned
something.
that Dan can suck a penis, but only if he's in love.
Well, I mean, that's fine. You know, sucking penis is sometimes meant to just to be about giving, not taking, in some cases.
That is very true. You're a very passionate lover in that respect, Dan.
And silence. He doesn't want to add to that.
No,
No, I just want to make you guys sit in it.
so there's been there's been this channel going around that's been sending people hate raids, and it just followed me. So right now I'm trying to figure out how I can prevent that from happening.
Um, I'll look it up for you. You focus on being our commander and loving leader.
Okay.
Are we even big enough for to get that kind of attention? That'd be kind of cool.
Apparently we are. I think it's a bot though, but still, like,
Yeah.
It's a boat made out of hate. See, crap, bots are bad. I'm right.
Well, no, because that bot is directly controlled by a person.
yeah.
My point stands. Bots are bad.
That
No,
bot
people are bad.
didn't choose to hate.
So is that a bot programmed entirely to find offensive content and then to get people on Twitter who could also themselves be bots get mad?
No. It's a bot that spams your chat with racist bullshit.
Oh, that is the. I was thinking the same than Brett. That may,
Yeah, a bunch of
makes it
people on
so
Twitter are gonna get mad at us.
exactly, and I was like, okay, that would be funny as an experiment. But if it's just a racial
If it's a
slur
racist
bot,
bot, dude, I think we should name it.
can I name
Fucking
it crap?
racist Carl.
No, crap.
Wait,
We have a crab.
how am I racist?
I mean, it was just a joke because most of the time, by our stupidity, not just yours, or sometimes like we said something stupid, but most of the times I find myself, I don't know if it's only me, that you said something that is like, and maybe I am the most one that says the most stupid things because my low understanding of the English language, but that is how I feel. The proxy of stupidity. I don't know if I get my idea through you.
Okay, well, I changed to follower only mode, so people have to follow for at least a day to post in chat, which will at least mitigate something.
I'm
I wanted to
okay.
name the
Yeah.
bot.
Can you not
I found
ban
it
the
for
bot?
you, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it in your chat so you can go deal with it.
So, in the topic of bots, what is another unnecessary bot that you know of?
Unnecessary or necessary?
Unnecessary, like it's like borderline just evil.
Oh,
Oh,
those robocallers.
yeah. Those things are bastards. I hate those. There's a reason why I haven't paid for phone service in like years because that's the only phone calls I get.
Oh, it's awful. You answer, you hear 3 seconds of silence, and you're like, "Fuck!" Now the machine knows I answered.
They are learning. Okay, kind of technology and AI research and crap. Do you think that they are going to do like machine learning so they can make bots that can answer properly a fucking phone, or they are not going to give a shit about it?
That would require a lot of effort with current methods right now, and the people who are making scams, they're not exactly filled with money in the first place.
Yeah.
But yes, but with time, yes. So
Oh
I
yeah.
can see a war.
So this is actually like a legitimate question out there, is like whether or not machine learning can get to be that smart. And everyone has differing opinions for about how the future of AI is going to go in terms of, well, we have an AI which can learn to play a video game versus we have an AI which can actually talk to you in an intelligent manner. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, those are two very different things. And it's been a hot minute since I've been in a philosophy of technology class, but
But
it's
could you call that intelligence? Because they are only designed to do one thing.
Well, it depends on how you define what intelligence is. We don't actually have an actual formal definition of what it means to be quote unquote intelligent.
yeah.
I don't know how to define intelligence, but like
Well,
I do not want to say that a robot that is able to play video games, not just discriminating video games or just saying that they are bad. It's intelligent because it only knows how to do a single job.
well, what
For me,
about a person who can play really good video games but sucks at like everything else? I mean,
but they can do other things like
but
social
they
interactions
still
and
suck at a lot of other things too.
yeah,
Like
they suck, but they can do it.
they still
So you,
suck,
you-
but
you're arguing streamers aren't intelligence?
definitely not.
I
But no,
mean,
that's the point I'm making. It's like your whole thing is like, well, they can only do like one thing. Well, what if they can do two things or three things? Like
okay,
I
that
can
would
I
be the
can add
future
neural network after neural network and keep expanding that. So that definition isn't going to hold ground for very
for a
long.
long time, yeah. But
I mean, I'm
the
intelligent. I'm sure there's only a finite number of things I can do. So I
Yep,
guess that many.
exactly.
so, but the thing with the AI is that if you put another neural network behind it, it's going to take a lot of time to, as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong. It's going to take a lot of time to make those actions because it has to search the answers for each action.
I mean, you will have to do more work. I mean, the human brain has to do more work, but that's more about parallelism. So you're going from intelligence into computational efficiency, which are completely two separate things.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. But
I think they're related, though. You need to have some kind of efficiency to be intelligent.
Oh yeah, you do need to have some efficiency, but it's like this is the whole reason why I'm explicitly like cutting this a little bit short with the whole we don't have a definition for intelligence and we're definitely not going to find one in like 2 seconds of
is that a challenge?
I mean, you're more than welcome. I've gone through this many times already before.
I'm
You
going to
won't
win
have
so many haters with my stupidity if I continue, but yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean, I
mean, we
could
could
tell
pick
you.
3 things to be like, can it lift paper clips? Does it drink a
Yes.
beer?
Yes.
And can it identify the color beige?
Yes, it can do all of that. And I don't need like that last one. I don't even need to make a neural network to do. I can
Yeah,
just
that is
Well,
just
then you,
like.
sir, got yourself an intelligence.
there you go.
So wait. For you, something intelligent is that it can identify the color beige.
Yep.
And drink a beer and whatever the first thing I said was.
So
Pick up a paper clip.
if someone is colorblind and doesn't have a good liver and also doesn't have hands, it's an idiot.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the
Okay,
pass-fail system.
okay. I don't want to add to that. No.
The moral of the story is make sure you have a liver or you're dumb.
Yeah, that's important. Livers are usually required for being alive in the first
Intelligent.
place. Yeah. Yeah,
Do
you need to
fish
be
have liver?
alive to be intelligent. Do fish have
So
livers?
okay, we solved it. Machine learning can be intelligent because they don't have livers yet.
There
Well,
we
Uh,
here
go. You're just
let
pouring
me
the beer down a drain.
let me just like borrow liver from someone real quick, attach it to it, and then like create a filter. It shouldn't be too hard.
fish do in
Yeah, but
fact have livers.
Yeah, I just googled that. I'm like, well, I was trying to have more evidence that fish are really dumb, but
Oh,
unfortunately, I
great.
failed.
Now we're an educational podcast.
I mean, not for too
Okay,
long.
well, do we want to have a pornographic podcast or an educational podcast?
Look,
I
it
mean, we
was
can
sexual education,
education.
all right? That's how we're
There's a
branding it.
market for that on Pornhub. They'll sponsor us.
There's a market for that in a lot of places.
Not the South.
Not this.
Yeah, just yeah, you're right with that one.
You know, today I start to think about old movies and how they seem amazing at the moment they came out, like Star Trek or Star Wars, The Thing, even by John Carpenter, or all of those scary movies at the time. And nowadays they are like a fucking joke because they look like crap. Not many of them. For example, I still respect The Thing by John Carpenter, but
Yeah, I
me,
think the thing looks like garbage, but it's still good.
I don't
yeah,
know.
but
It's been a little bit since I've seen it, but I think it still holds up.
yes, it has very good practical effects, but most of the movies that came out at that era are like just a fucking joke and a meme at this point because they are so bad and in a Gion standard or like in effects and things like that. And I was thinking a lot about that today.
Yeah, I mean, it does like I get it. Like it does kind of look fake. I understand. But
Not even that. Like
like
even the script. Compare the current science fictions, even fucking Avatar if you want,
uh
to Star Trek. It's going to that doesn't make sense. That is really stupid, or things like that.
I
Well, isn't
don't
Star
like
Trek mostly a sci-fi soap opera where Avatar is like a action
No, yeah,
semi-alien porn video?
that's okay
I
if you want
mean,
to define it like that.
Avatar is just space Pocahontas, and an excuse
Yeah.
to spend a shit ton of money. But like I've seen Avatar and I absolutely like I think that movie is absolute garbage, gotta be honest. Like
I love the effects on that movie. They look nice.
All I remember is the two tails connecting, and that was the hottest thing that I've seen in months.
I remember thinking those giant robots were fucking awesome, and then like Titanfall comes out shortly after. You play that, and then those giant robots look kind of crappy now by comparison.
Yeah, and that is another example of maybe how in the future we are going to look back at fucking Warhammer, who knows, and be it is fucking dumb because someone is going to come with a better idea or at least a more logical one.
yeah, that's already happened. Warhammer is fucking dumb. Like there is a better option. It's called playing video games. but Warhammer's cool, and it was like it has a lot of high quality stuff and a lot of like good heart put into it. At least in the past, it did, and like it's still like it's a completely different medium. There's a culture around it that people appreciate that adds value to the whole thing.
The only thing I know about
Dan,
Warhammer is like space Nazism with the whole purging thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty
Dan, you
much.
read comic books. The counter argument to that is like watch a movie.
yeah, that's true. I'm not gonna lie, but like every medium has various things that add value to what it is that you're doing.
I like the counter argument. You read things. Fuck you.
Yeah.
How
Well,
dare
no,
you
it's us
read?
changing his Warhammer to books.
No,
Then again, books are dying.
I get it, and I'm just like sort of posing the counter argument there, right? But everything has its value, and I'm really high, so I don't know. Like I'm losing the words that I'm trying to say,
I think
but
he forgot what he was arguing.
yes, I did. Um,
He still thinks that we are talking about sexual toys. No one tell them otherwise.
Wait, what? We were talking about aliens and other stuff. How are we on sex toys now?
That is how we
Clearly, I've missed
started.
something. Oh,
we're
okay.
talking about movies and whether or not they still held up.
All movies are bad. If you don't read books like novels, a single novel per day, you're clearly inferior.
Yeah.
I rather be inferior.
Can we add that to our definition of intelligence?
No, because then too many people who read books but are too dumb to understand what they're about would be called intelligent.
Hey, that doesn't matter as long as they can read it fast enough to do one a day.
Well,
Do
that's
that,
the
you're
thing.
in.
I mean, I could flip a page pretty easily. That doesn't make me smart.
Does it
Yes, it does. You're in.
does it
I mean,
count
no,
if I
it does.
read
No,
like a
wait,
single
wait.
pamphlet every day?
No, wait.
How big is this pamphlet? Is it like a 1,000 pages thick pamphlet?
Crap, we
Uh,
are doing like some kind of rules, like a fucking, I don't know, like a bunch of rules to define intelligence. And the first one is, can you lift a page? So therefore,
Oh, it's
if
the
you're
paperwork. Paperclip.
exactly a paper
Which-
clip or what?
lift
You
this
have to be able
paperwork.
to perform two separate actions at least that are very similar between lifting the page to read the book real fast or lifting a paperclip.
But no, so
Very,
if you
very
can
different
flip,
criteria for the
But-
tasks.
if you can flip the page, that is almost like lifting the paper clip. So you are by definition, at least at my understanding, intelligent.
So you're saying that wind is intelligent because it can move a page?
No, because it doesn't have a lever.
Yeah, but you can
Yeah,
like
the wind
throw.
can't drink a beer.
Look, if there's tons of livers out there in the open wind out there.
Though is
At
the
least
wind
one.
process the alcohol through those levers.
It
Okay,
can
what was the third
process.
thing then? We had the paperclip, the beer.
It's just livers
Oh,
floating in the breeze.
the wind doesn't know the color beige, therefore it is not intelligent.
Well,
Exactly.
the wind knows the color beige and filters it out, so you only see blue.
No. The one
That's
that
why the
knows
sky is
color
blue.
beige, it's the light. The wind doesn't have to do anything with the blue of the sky.
But that's what the wind is. The wind is part of the atmosphere which filters it out. You can't just be like, well, the foot doesn't know how to read a book, so you're a dumbass.
The foot is dumb, dude. If I cut your foot off, I'm not gonna say, "Wow, that foot is intelligent."
But you can't say that it's not intelligent. It's like it's one of
Yes,
those
I
things
can.
that the
It can't lift a paperclip. It can't drink a beer.
It could drink a beer if you let it go through the veins. It's not my fault that you don't know how to control a foot.
No, it cannot, because the action
It's
of
a
drinking a
severed
beer.
foot.
No,
You're bad with feet.
the action of drinking a beer, it's picking it up and drinking it by yourself, not with the aid of
What
someone
would you
else.
what would you
It's
pick it up with?
deciding to drink the beer.
That's the whole thing. Like, what has to pick it up? You're now saying that you have to have some sort of apparatus to pick up a beer.
Exactly, your hands.
But
With my
that's not what
robot
that's.
claws.
So now you have to say you have to have hands. So now that almost any animal out there
No,
can
animals
inherit.
have paws.
Yeah, but you literally just said hands.
I said no. I said
Yes.
if they can pick it up by themselves and drink it.
Yes, and then you said so you said you had to have hands, and you said yes.
I think any form of picking up the beer to drink it is acceptable.
Yes.
Including if it falls over or into
no,
the foot.
that is
Yeah.
counseless.
Reese
As long as
says-
the foot wants it to fall over.
Ree says, "Sorry, you lack the dexterity to pick up paper clips with your toes."
See, exactly. This is why you guys are not the intelligent ones here to do it, because you can't pick up stuff with your toes.
Yeah,
Nerd.
but your toes can't recognize the color beige.
You want to bet?
Okay,
very
define it
robust
in
system.
hexadecimal.
See,
now, how will you measure?
if we had a bunch of different paints and one of them was the color beige and like someone had been blind and was very good at feeling things, they could probably identify the color beige with their foot.
No,
Exactly.
Dan, they would
See?
fail because they're
So-
blind.
Wait,
Well,
wait.
no, because they're Daredevil. They have heightened
No.
senses with their toes.
No, Dan, I want you to explain me this. How does a color feel? For example, how does the color yellow feel?
If it's painted, if
Like
it comes
babies
from
crying.
paint, it will be made
Uh-huh.
of different pigments and might have a different
Uh-huh.
texture when placed onto a canvas.
And how does
Okay,
it feel?
what if
And how does
it's
it-
a digital image from a TV?
I don't
Danny
know. I
doesn't
haven't-
know beige.
If it's look, it's just one example of how they could have passed that test.
This
There's-
is just a long test to try to prove that Danny is dumb, and Fallen is just being rude.
I don't need a test to prove that I'm dumb.
I already know it.
It's just more quantifiable that way, though.
You you just need to watch me play some video games and it'll become apparent very quickly.
You don't play video games because you never stream.
Woo!
I'm streaming right now.
I don't see no video games. I hear see you wanting to purge.
Man, we never should have got rid of that racist bot follower we had.
Yeah, that would have changed the direction of this podcast.
Totally.
He was our audience.
Sadly, bots don't usually add to viewer counts.
No, they don't. They are completely separate in how they are counted.
So, are you telling me that Twitch is racist against bots?
No, because it's how they connect. If they connect only to chat, they don't get counted as a viewer because chat count versus viewer count are two separate things.
So
The
they
bot
get
would have to load.
discriminated.
No, because they would have to load in the thing. A bot can do that. The bot would have to load it in, but the bot that followed Danny didn't load in either chat nor the video. Therefore, it
Do you
doesn't
think
get
you
counted.
could make money off a bot audience?
I
Yes,
mean,
have you seen those accounts that
Want to
boy
become
viewers
famous?
and-
Buy
Yeah,
viewers and subscribers here.
yeah.
you can make money out of bot viewers? Yes. It is illegal. Okay. It is against TOS. Yes.
Yeah.
But you can. It's like robbing a bank. It is illegal, but you could do it.
So what exactly is like? Because the only way I could think of to make money off it is to have a bunch of bots all talking to each other in your chat and be like, "Yo, look, Adidas. Here's how active my chat is. I'll recommend you shoe
Hmm.
to all these humans."
I think it is mostly ad revenue. I think.
No, you can do that, but most of the bots won't bother with that because that's extra overhead for them. Most of the things
See,
for like
they
new
are
bots.
dumb.
No,
but sorry, continue.
that would be smart because that adds overhead to the bots. But anyways, no, the usual application for bots are literally just for the view counts. Because if you have higher viewers, you're more likely to show up and get real people. No matter how like boring or whatever you are, popularity breeds popularity.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's stupid.
But if you put like 50 like clever bot chat bots into your chat and just made them all talk to each other, and then whatever the fuck that monstrosity was is your content,
That's your
and then you see
content.
if real people come to view it.
I mean, you can put that in your chat. There's nothing against like having a bunch of bots talking in your chat. It's about influencing the actual view numbers because your chat list is completely not private, but not displayed unless people go searching for it. So you can kind of do whatever you want with that.
Yeah, there's a button to watch that or see that.
Yeah, like I can look in Danny's stuff. Users Bing Cortana. The fuck?
Then don't insult the fucking viewer. Respect it.
What?
I don't know. I feel like we're being watched by Microsoft now, and we're gonna get like attacked. But
Okay,
wait,
wait.
They're gonna sell
Hi,
us
Bill Gates.
Xboxes.
I just want to say hi, Bill Gates. I really admire you. Please don't throw me.
Thanks for the vaccine, Bill Gates.
Yes.
my 5G implant has been working very well.
My cell
Mine
reception's
hasn't
never been
arrived.
better. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't received mine, but I don't complain about the magnetism. It's kind of cool if you ask me.
I've always wanted to be Magneto.
Yes, at least a little bit.
Hey, Bill Gates, this guy needs a vaccine. If you're
I
as
will do everything.
adamant about this as they say you are, you'll go hand deliver it to him at his house. I'm certain. Do you guys think that Bill Gates knows how to administer a vaccine?
I
I
bet he
guarantee he
does.
doesn't.
He doesn't.
Why?
Why would he need to?
I mean,
So, well, that's a random bug. To give injections, you have to have very fine-tuned control of how you put pressure into the veins. It's not just
mhm.
simple stab and inject. You got to be very careful with it. So,
Yeah.
unless you have like decent medical training for it, you're likely not going to know exactly what it is, especially with the different viscosity of what you're putting in there.
Yeah,
You
but I
know,
mean, like, it's not something that you need to have years of medical training to do, as evidenced as by like the number of volunteers that are being trained to administer vaccines and so on. Like,
Are you sure you're just not talking about crackheads?
no,
I
because
Why
mean,
would
no,
Bill
they
Gates
don't know
need to
how to.
learn that though?
if they
Because
can do
he's
it,
just
I
a.
bet Bill Gates can do it.
Yeah, like it's not about whether he needs to. It's about like he's so involved with vaccines. Do you think at one point he's like, you know what, I'm gonna learn how to do this myself and like, you know, do it myself sometime.
I
Like
just thought
do a PR thing where he helps out at a vaccine clinic.
My point still stands. Like,
I
if
think it
he,
would be better for him, sorry, Fallen, to just hire a Bill Gates impersonator and then pay that guy to learn how to give vaccines.
I mean, you know, like, my point still stands. If a crackhead can do it, so Bill Gates can do it as at least a little bit better.
Well,
how
that's
to
the problem
administer
though,
vaccines.
is that junkies don't know how to do it because
But
they
they
often
can.
just yeah, but not properly. They fucking collapse like the number of people I see walking around with like collapsed veins on their arms and shit that definitely need to go to the hospital is staggering because
But
these people
your
don't know
question
how
was,
to inject themselves with things.
your question was if he knows, but no, if he knows how to do it properly.
Okay, well that was sort of the criteria, right? Like in that case, like I know how to inject somebody. Like you just stick it in and push the plunger down, right?
I
Like
know how to
that's all
fly
you
a
need.
plane.
Exactly. You sit in the cockpit and you move the wheelie stick thing.
Yeah, but then there's also the
Right.
question of like how well do you have to be able to do something to be considered that you know how to do it as well. Like I know how to play Dark Souls. I die on the first boss all the time.
Yeah.
Is that a personal attack, you little piece of shit?
Well, I
Well,
guess the most basic injection pass fail criteria would be whether or not your patient died. So
well, I
if you
mean most
stab someone in
crackheads
the
don't die.
eye and they die while you're trying to give them a vaccine, I think you failed.
Yeah, but most crackheads don't die even when they inject. So does that mean that they know how to do it?
I guess so.
Even
Hmm.
if even if that leads to an infection that subsequently kills them.
I don't know what the time scale is. I guess if they die within like the next like hour, then yeah, it's probably a critical failure of the injection.
That guy
What is,
rolled 99.
yes,
That
like,
poor
what is this,
bastard.
DNB? Uh,
Is it not coming through no more?
but I want to believe that he knows. Like, he's the kind of person that knows a lot of shit. Maybe he
So,
is going to fuck it up, but I bet he knows. He hasn't do it, but at least he's like, okay, I need to do this.
so I have the perfect thing to go along with that. The new
Okay.
horror story for all anti-vaxxers is now Bill Gates will sneak into your children's bedroom and vaccinate them in their sleep.
Classic Bill Gates.
If they
Exactly.
if they die in the next hour, it's probably what they were injecting and not the injection itself.
Well, after all the allegations of Bill Gates' wife leaving him for the Epstein thing, I think if he sneaks into children's bedrooms and gives them a vaccine and that's all he does, that's probably a win.
God.
I don't know. I don't know how much I would want Bill Gates sneaking into any of my children's bedrooms.
Yeah, I think he was on the flight logs there, bud.
Yeah.
At least according to my radicalized Facebook friends.
The best source of information, Facebook.
If
I
Bill
see.
Gates sneaks into your house, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, "Hey, get out, Bill Gates! This my house," and he's like, "No, I just bought it. You get out."
Here's
I
$1
mean,
million. Fuck off.
if that happened to me, I will be like, what? Can I serve you, sir? Do you need something else, master?
How may I be of service? I heard your wife just left you. You must be
I
very
could probably
lonely,
beat him up
Mr.
at least. He's
Gates.
only Bill Gates.
It's true.
I mean,
He is a nerd.
if you don't want to get like related to Bill Gates because maybe there is going to have fans or something like that, here in Spanish we have a nickname for him, Billy El Puertas. If you'd rather say that.
That's worse than saying Bill Gates. That takes like 3 times as long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but cannot be related.
They
Who the
call
fuck
him
is
Billy
Billy El
G.
Puertas?
So look, there's gonna be a robot out there that auto translates that for us and puts us on the FBI watch list again. I don't want to do that, man.
I mean, again, I bet he's still there looking for the child porn.
Yeah, he is that second viewer. We got Ree and we got the FBI guy.
It's kind of weird that you can't like actually tell who your viewers are. Like you look in your chat thing and I'm looking through here, like you should have like at least 4 viewers and it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
like
FBI
a
said it so they
loot
don't
box.
show up.
No, it's like a loot box, but for viewers. Like, you do not know. You just have to wait and see what happens.
Which is intentionally suppressing us. They
Exactly.
fear our
Hey,
power.
exactly.
I mean, I still love him. He seems like a nice. He hasn't banned us yet.
You love Bill Gates? Wait, who are we
No,
talking
no, no.
about?
The FBI agent.
I don't think the FBI agent can ban us. They can arrest us, but
And
I
he
don't,
hasn't done it.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
he's
just
only
He seems
FBI. It's
like
not
a
Twitch
nice
mod.
guy.
it's because we're too powerful. He can't get evidence on us.
he arrests
I like
us.
to
Isn't
believe.
that like banning an IRL though?
No.
You've been
Again,
banned, but on another plane of existence.
No, banning on IRL, it's like an execution, like death sentence. You are banned for life,
Well,
literally.
that's like permaban though.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Well, I guess being arrested would be a timeout then.
Yes.
You've been timed.
So what would be a ban then?
Well, I feel like being timed would be like on parole or something. Like banned. You know, you're thrown in the slammer.
No, that seems like
the
temporary.
the death sentence. That's your banning.
No, because that is permaban.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a death sentence you can appeal until they kill you.
Yeah.
But you're still banned, even if they don't kill you. You have just life sentence, so it's kind of permaban. It's like a soft permaban.
Yeah, but
Soft permaban.
you can get out on good behavior though. But like, there's still like you can get life in prison, and there's still that slight possibility you might be able to get released
Or
How,
escape.
or
how is
escape.
it called in English when a criminal gets like sent to another prison in another country? Because I do not know the word.
Extradition.
Okay, so what is extradition then?
Um,
Something
that
beyond the realm of our physics.
Like,
banning people on multiple platforms.
Hurling someone into the sun.
God damn it.
Why do these metaphors have to keep piling up?
It's because you let our brains run wild. You gotta keep us railroaded. You're our dungeon master, and I don't mean the
Yes.
one that ties us up.
I mean both.
Wait, you
Look,
guys
the
are
only one
tied up
allowed to
right
tie
now?
me up.
I'm not going to say that I'm a hostage, but I'm not going to say that I'm not a hostage. So
All I'm going to say is the fuzzy handcuffs
Paul,
are
are
definitely
there armed
visible.
gunmen in your house again?
unfortunately, no, not yet.
It's that
You know,
helicopter, isn't it?
it's not that time of the year. Like, give it like month and a half, and maybe I can give you the anecdote of yes, they got into my house again.
It's like, they're not rats, dude. They're fucking armed gunmen.
Yes, exactly. That is what it makes it worse. It will be
Well, what if they
again.
squeak and eat cheese? Would they be rat gunmen?
well, they could definitely be compared to rats. I'm sure if you set traps for them, you could probably catch them.
Hmm.
They just need to be, a bit larger.
Pokemon will be very different if they instead of Pokemon you have like
So what?
burglars. It will be like go come on theft, use a stab or something like that. It will be awesome if you ask me.
So what you're saying, Danny, is you need Fallen to have a large trap in his house.
Yes.
And then I think he's making the people he traps fight.
Yes, we have to determine who is the best
Oh,
the best
so
thief.
we're setting live traps for these people. I wasn't going that far.
Oh, you're thinking
I
just a
mean,
machine gun on like a pressure plate.
Well, that's
no,
where I
I
was
mean,
going, was like there's the obvious ones that people actually set in real life, or we could go with a giant oversized mouse trap weighed down with a little sack of money.
no, I don't have the time for do that. I
Jesus
just a
Christ,
normal.
Dan. Is that just like a garage door spring with like a steel bar that like slams into a person when
And a
they
fucking
grab the money
pistol.
bag?
Yes,
No,
that's
but
exactly what I was thinking.
I do not have the time to do so. I just like put a gun with an automatic stick, and if they survive, they are worthy.
That's a lot more humane, I think.
Do we
I'll take
care
the
about
machine gun
humane
over the
though?
rebar crushing my chest cavity.
Yes. And if you survive, you get to play on the death games.
If you survive, you get to play Danganronpa.
But in real life. I bet Danganronpa on Colombia is just getting sequestered by the fucking Asquark, like the guerrilla. The difference being you only have one life. Good luck.
Well, I think they only had one life in Danganronpa too, but
I mean, they have save states, but okay.
yeah, they that just toss them into a high school, board up all the windows and exits, and give them a bunch of guns. I
I
feel
mean,
like
no,
Colombian Danganronpa would be over a lot quicker.
no, it will be like this. You get like a big building, you board it so they cannot get out, and there is only one exit with one key, and you tell each other to the key is in another, in someone else's butthole, and they have to find it somehow. Like there is 10 people, and in a butthole of someone else,
Okay, you
there
say
is the key.
somehow. You know how they're going to find that key.
I mean, I suppose.
Does anyone feel like you've been violated recently?
I mean, every time I come here, I feel slight amounts of violation.
Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
Crab's got the key.
Oh shit! Do not check my butthole. I'm the only one allowed to check it.
So, because this is a very homophobic country, it will be like no one is going to touch my butthole, and that will escalate to violence. And there you have it, the Hunger Games, but with a key in your butthole.
The
See,
butthole
I
Hunger
would have
Game.
compared that more to Saw, but
Butthole saw.
No, because in so they don't get killed. In so they get killed by traps, not by the other competence, by the other people.
I don't know. I think, yeah, I
There's a
haven't
key in your
watched any
butthole, and if
Saw,
you don't
so
get it, you'll die.
I mean, it could be in a condom or something. Like you are not going to get a blood
So-
infection.
what happens if one guy manages to kill everybody else and checks all of them and finds that there's no key?
He
That
just
just-
have to
Better
poop.
start pooping.
Exactly. Like the catch is that you have to tell them that it's not in their butthole, even if that is a lie.
But the
Oh, so there
dramatic
never was a
irony
key.
is that
It was in your butthole all along.
he denied it the entire time.
Yes.
Just for the sake. It's like, you can't touch my butthole, but you're all gonna die. My butthole is more sacred than your life.
Yes. And at the end, he has to touch his own butthole and accept
The
the irony of
homoerotic
life.
nature.
Yes.
And you know what? It turns out it wasn't so bad. Probably shouldn't have murdered all those people.
But it was an experience, no? Like, like he knows how to defend himself now.
Shortly after he was freed, he opened his mind to experimenting with weird butt stuff from then on. All it
It's a
took
way
was
to
the
honor their
murder of
memory.
11 other people.
That's what they would have wanted.
To molest its butthole? Yes, that is what they wanted for him.
Also, I noticed we're in just chatting rather than like talk shows. Is that intentional?
I didn't realize there was a talk show.
Yeah, isn't there like a talk shows and podcasts?
You're
There
right.
is a
Category?
podcast one, yes.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Do we have enough production quality to be counted as a talk show?
Do you think anyone on this site really has that much production quality?
Yes. Not
Yeah,
many, but some of
TV
them.
streamers, they got like 8 cameras set up. They got to catch that shit from every fucking angle.
And they have
That's
nice
like
mics.
$60 extra of cheap bullshit.
It's all right. We're off the hot tub kick for now.
Well, the hot tubs got their own category now.
Oh shit! Did they?
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, they win. This is
Danny,
the worst win.
It got
Danny,
its.
you need to go ahead.
It got its own category. It's called horny jail.
Let me see if I can find it. But you need to put like a image of a hot tub on there next to is it who is that dude like looking real sad in the bottom left corner?
You?
No,
That's
definitely
you.
How is that me? That's way too tall.
Because Dark Souls.
That's Pate.
That's Pate?
Yeah, from Dark Souls 2.
That doesn't look anything like Pate.
That's him sitting on the fucking corner.
His armor is gigantic and he's missing his hat.
And then he has the indecency to say that he's a Dark Souls player.
Okay.
I am a
Nice,
Dark
bro.
Souls player. Dude, I'm gonna
cannot even
bring up a picture of Pate and I'm gonna show you just how different it looks.
Okay, maybe he's got different armor on. I don't fucking know. I just grabbed the picture and put it there. Like that looks like a dejected person from Dark Souls.
Uh,
So you're talking about production quality here, Brad. Where do you think we sit in terms of production quality right now?
So there's
Minus
a-
one.
Yeah,
I don't know. I should go actually check his stream.
there's a large
Negative
barrel, and we are at the very bottom of it.
We are under the barrel.
We're
Excuse
fish
you, man.
residue.
Like, if you're going to offend us, do it right. Like, we are under the barrel. We are not even inside of it.
Hey Dan, I'm watching an ad on your stream right now. You're welcome.
Thanks. Thanks for the 2 cents.
It's money in your pocket, baby.
And what is the ad? Okay, I will never know.
All right,
Red
Oh, it
let's,
was a
Rescue and
car.
Gerald.
let's see how long it takes for me to find hot tubs.
So wait, it was the pic, the image in the bottom right or bottom left?
Yeah.
So who am I?
Pools,
The dumb
hot
guy, I
tubs, and
guess?
beaches. 7.5K. Let's see. Okay, the
Wait,
top one
and
is a
beaches?
fucking sea otter. Oh, this is you know what? This came out as this is the best thing that could have ever happened. We've got sea otter, titties, 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 titties. That looks like a raccoon. Yeah, raccoons. So it's not titties. Dudes. Geese and ducks.
Dude's gonna have
I
titties.
found peanut butter.
Gorillas, peanut butter, titties, titties, dog, titties, titties, bear, titties, a bunch of dudes not in hot tubs, a bunch of dudes doing karate, gorilla
Are they,
again.
no, wait. Are they doing karate on a
The
bike?
same gorilla.
Uh, it might be the same gorilla. Yeah, it's the same gorilla.
I found a seal.
Let's see, titties. What's the name of that one like gay porn actor that became a meme that one time? I can't remember.
I have no idea.
I haven't kept up with my gay porn memes.
Yeah. My gay porn memes kind of ran out 2 years ago, I'm afraid.
The only, and this is going to sound so bad, but it is the fucking truth. The only gay memes that I know are furry ones. So
Okay, good to know. Titties.
Is it that chin guy?
World of Warcraft, Minecraft, turtles, titties, titties.
There was Pokemon in there too.
Dude with titties.
I told you they could have titties.
Growing weed. Titties. Playing Among Us, titties.
Like the titties are playing Among Us, or is 2 separate entries?
No, they're separate. Sexy
So-
songs, gorilla again. Titties.
So what is the point of you looking that list?
I'm just trying to pass
Morbid
time.
curiosity?
Yeah, no, I'm
You're already
genuinely
bored of
curious.
us.
Like he just said fuck you, like in an indirect way. Like I don't want to deal
Yep.
with your bullshit. I'm just going to watch this.
Maybe I went through the list
Hey,
a bit too long.
we learned
like,
how prolific that gorilla was.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch the sea otter.
So wait. If that gorilla was prolific, it was Harambe or it's the reincarnation of Harambe?
Well, it couldn't have been Harambe. This is live after all. But you know
I'm
what?
just
This-
glad we
How
got
do
to
we
a
know
dude
that
with
it's like
titties.
what? How do we know
This-
it's not a recording?
we don't, but we can make an assumption. The gorilla playing
Wait,
in a
you can do
tub.
that?
What? Just play
We can
recordings?
just record. Yeah, we can
Yes.
record like 4 podcasts in a row and just make one go live as if we're there, but we're not.
We could.
You could,
We
yeah.
could.
I
Like,
don't know. The
haven't you
sea
seen
otter.
the fucking? Haven't
This-
you seen the fucking channel of Bob Ross? He's not alive.
How do you know?
You
Necromancy
got
is
a good
powerful
point.
these
Yeah,
days.
that's a whole other category though. Like that's like like Rift Tracks isn't live. Like they're those are all recorded, but like that's sort of the thing, right? Like that's what they do. These are unless there's something, excuse me, that otherwise states that like this is supposed to be like watching recorded content. There's a reasonable assumption that these people are currently live.
Okay, but is it illegal or against us?
No, it's not
Mm.
against TOS.
Like for example, let's assume that this is pre-recorded, that someone came into chat to say, I don't know, oh, this is my opinion, or you are four assholes that doesn't know what they are speaking of, or you are stupid, or like I like you and we do not respond. That will be rude for that person, but it will be against any kind of law.
No, dude, I got it. I got the perfect idea to counter that. You make a bot that will come in and be like, "Hey, Dan, what's up?" And you'll be like, "Oh, hey, bot Jim, nice to see you." And you have like a scripted,
Oh,
pre-recorded interaction at a specific time.
sorry, the camera changed on the Otter stream and it surprised me.
He really doesn't want to deal with our bullshit.
Look,
Yeah,
I need this to balance out the level of wholesome versus degeneracy in this podcast.
Our degeneracy has only gone down since the beginning.
Yeah, because
Yes.
of sea otters.
No. Even you know that. You know that is true when Crab and I are in the same page. God damn it.
Exactly.
Like,
This is them getting along.
Look, if I
We're
gotta
not
make myself an
shooting each
enemy to
other.
make sure everybody else gets along, then that's okay with me.
No, because then Fallens is gonna shoot me in the back.
I.
He might.
I.
Where
Fuck
they've got to
you.
save. They got to get used to liking each other, just so they can shatter that friendship in real time, live, not
So,
pre-recorded in Mario Party.
Exactly. I will steal his star, and there's nothing he can do about it.
I mean, I can disconnect.
Rage quit.
Yes.
Nerd rage.
Uh,
So yeah, we're gonna do Mario Party next week.
We
I
fucking
mean,
better.
Yeah,
that is on Crab's hands, so.
it is in my hands, and I should get that set up.
Yeah. Are you optimistic? Is it going to come out like super jank?
No, I'm
Yeah,
optimistic. There
I
is enough
mean,
technology nowadays to make it work
yep. For us,
decently.
for Danny, Brett, and I think it'll work fine. For Fallen, well,
Yeah,
very
Fallen's where it's
questionable.
sort of. Sorry, Fallen, but it's sort of where it gets to be questionable. It's not even
Yeah,
about
Yeah,
like
I
whether or
internet
know.
not
can be
I,
problematic.
you're
I
just
know
far
how it
away.
works. Yes, it's not an offense. It's just the fucking truth.
Yeah, it's just internet.
Yes. And even if I have other internet, it will be a high ping because I'm fucking far away.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
it'll
know
be
how to.
hilarious for him to be the one guy in the video game in the mini game who just like doesn't get the goal, and he's like just walking around in circles in the wrong corner.
I mean, that will make it better when I win.
Yeah, haven't you ever seen Luigi wins by doing nothing? Like,
That reminds me of my Dark Souls blindfolded playthrough. I
there's
won by walking to a corner.
I want to try beating Luigi's Mansion blindfolded, but that's beside the point.
You should do it. I would watch that.
Um, maybe in October, since
Wait, I have a question. How do you deal with chat when you are blindfolded?
I have someone read for me.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah,
Courtney
I
read it for me.
will be there. So sorry.
So, fuck. What I was gonna say something completely different.
You are too
What
high, man.
what were we just talking about?
Blindfolded Luigi's Mansion.
No, before
Mario
that.
Party.
Yeah,
Mario
Mario
Party.
Party. I was gonna say Fallen will probably still win some mini games, just because of the nature of the mini games in Mario Party. The earlier the Mario Party is, or like there's sort of a bell curve for like how many luck-based mini games there are. So like if we're right in the middle, probably less so, but like Mario Party 1, he'd definitely win a lot of them just based on luck. Um
Oh, you
and
know,
like
my
if
feel. Go ahead.
if for whatever reason we played like 9 or 10, um then yeah, you'd probably win a lot with just luck alone.
You
But
know,
it's still possible to win Mario Party without having to win all the mini games.
yeah, my philosophy in life is it's not just my problem; it's everyone else's problem. Because if I have lag and it's a team game, the
Oh, he's
other
right.
so it's not just my problem, and that makes me happy because at some point I'm going to screw someone else's. So
I
I
don't know,
can
dude. The last time I thought getting drunk and playing Mario Party was a great idea. It was on like a native system with 4 people all in the same room, and I was still fucking garbage at them. I didn't win a single one. So I feel like his bad connection can be balanced out by my genuine incompetence.
so
What if you go on the
incompetence.
same team together?
Yeah, then we just lose.
So incompetence and lag. So incompetence is worse than lag. We are all like in the same page about that one. Yes.
Well, it's like
Yes.
sadder because like I'll be genuinely trying.
Don't worry, it's okay to cry during Mario Party.
It wouldn't be the first time, definitely won't be the last. Also, there's that new Mario Party coming out and I'm so excited.
Wait, is this one actually going to be legitimate multiplayer? Bless you.
It's a remake of Mario Party 1.
Oh
And
yeah, that's right.
I believe it's supposed to have online. Um,
Good.
It's
So
so
it's
nice
actually
when
worth buying.
I feel like that game having online shouldn't be like a questionable maybe in 2021.
no, and I completely agree, and that's a very frustrating thing about Nintendo because they like Mario Golf, you'd expect something like that to have online, right? And it did, but it was real bad. And then later they put in an update to put in a ranked mode, and now it's not so bad.
I do not expect anything from Nintendo. I start to learn to don't expect anything from them. That is just stupid. Like they are
Yeah,
not going to go with the way of anyone. They are just going to do their bullshit. And
yeah,
so
no, I stopped getting upset with Nintendo a long time ago. Um, just because like I think it was when Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival came out. I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna have expectations anymore. And and yeah, it's been a lot better since then. I've been a lot more excited for things that come out by not trying to like follow all the rumors and guess what's gonna come out and end up being disappointed. Like if they do a big presentation and there's nothing that I'm interested in, which is honestly rare because I'm a Nintendo nerd. If that happens, I just like I'm like all right, we'll wait a few months and we'll see what the next one is. But a lot of people out there get genuinely upset, and
Mhm.
like I had no expectations for the Gen 4 remake for Pokemon, and a lot of people are upset that they decided to go with like sort of the same art style as the Link's Awakening remake. Um and still like instead of going like full 3D and redoing everything, like they made it as close to the original as possible with like 3D sort of chibi graphics. And I'm like, you know what, like that's their decision. I'm okay. Like I'm not upset by this at all. I'm still gonna play the game and I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm hoping that they do what they can with the art style. But other people are, they get very poignantly upset about that sort of thing.
How dare they not do sprites? The
Ex-
superior art style.
exactly.
I mean, sprites are fun to do, to see, to everything. But uh, you know, If you ask me, there is better art styles that pixel art. Like pixel art, it's fun and whatnot because it
Well,
leaves
when
a
I
lot
say
of things.
sprite, I don't mean necessarily mean pixel art. Pixel
Okay,
Yeah.
art
no,
is
but
not
even
necessarily the same.
sprites, even like well-defined sprites that they have lines and they are in high definition, leave a lot of things to the imagination because there are some details that cannot be drawn as because they are so small in comparison with other kinds of art. So for me, like they they get more attention because they leave a lot of imagination. Let's say, for example, go back to Final Fantasy VI. Imagine Terra. Everyone imagines Terra a different way because it's a fucking microscopic pixel. Then imagine Mega Man in the last Mega Mans. Everyone that draws Mega Man draws it is slightly different, and not because of an art style, just because there are some things that cannot be perceived because of the size.
Well, you're
I
also
spent a lot of
comparing.
time as a kid trying to figure
No,
out what
not
the
even.
fuck sprites were in StarCraft.
Let's say Hollow Knight then. Crap.
You're
It's
still
just
comparing like far more low resolution compared to much higher resolution things
give me an
that have.
example.
You just gave one. You're saying, okay, Hollow Knight's definitely going to be leaving a lot of stuff out there. It's a
Exactly.
a cartoonish art style versus, oh hey, a 3D style that you can zoom into. That's just math there. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can't draw that kind of detail as well. You do know that there's hyperrealism artists, right?
Yeah, like
Yes.
they could go with that. And
But
as
hyperrealism, go ahead.
to go back to Pokemon and like relating to this, it's very much a personal opinion, but I don't think Pokemon has done the transition to 3D very well. Like Pokemon has not looked as good since Gen 5 when they started
I don't
going.
like 3D either.
Yeah, like there's a lot of Pokemon that didn't make the cut when it came to becoming 3D models that just they always look better as sprites, and Gen 5 did it the best with like having fully animated sprites instead of just being completely still the whole time. Like
I didn't like the animated sprites. I preferred the stills, honestly.
yeah, but I mean it's still like a logical progression, I guess.
Yeah,
That
it
Why did
makes
you?
sense.
Why don't you like the animation ones? Like you find them weird or like
I just
they
don't
look
like them.
flat?
I don't
What
think
is
they're
it?
bad or anything. I just don't like them. It's literally just personal taste.
But there is
he
not like a
prefers
little
his
like
JPEGs over his GIFs. That's
okay. Because
Exactly.
I was going to say maybe the reason is the imagination because when they are still you can imagine a lot of things, but when they are moving they force you to just see that and close your imaginative space. I don't
I
know if
always
that makes
hated
sense.
games where things were still and like it always came off like they didn't put in the effort. It was an unfinished product to me.
Eh, everyone has like their taste. Like for me, when it
yeah.
comes to turn-based games, I definitely much prefer like 2D style versus 3D style. But then, like when it comes to real time, I would prefer 3D style over 2D style. So
Yeah.
it's all just arbitrary feeling, you know. It has
Like,
nothing to do with like anything of that. It's literally just how I randomly have my brain decided to feel.
Yeah.
at the end of the day, everything is art. Like maybe you can have a preference, but everything is well done and has effort behind it, and deserves respect. A lot of it, because
Yeah.
for God's sake, there is a lot of people. Look at this asshole who he draws, and fuck you. You don't even know how to pick up a fucking pencil.
Yeah. Yeah, like for me when it comes down to it, it's like it's all preference and I know it.
Yes.
Like for Pokemon, I prefer the 2D stuff, non-animated. Like that's just me. I don't think there's
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the 3D style, you know, except my
Yeah.
preference. I think it looks like plastic, and I don't like the plasticky JRPG 3D
You
art
didn't.
style.
You didn't consume enough plastic when you were a child.
Yeah,
No,
like
I prefer to sniff glue.
it, like it all for me what it all comes down to is like I don't care what it is so long as it looks good, right?
Yeah.
And like older Pokemon games, they don't have to be animated to look good. Like me saying that I like Gen 5 and the animated sprites doesn't necessarily mean that those are that like the previous ones weren't good in their own right, and like they designed it around the fact that like these things had very limited animations. Like Gen 3 and 4, they had intro animations when they first came out, and that was it. It gave them a little bit more character, and like they worked with that, and it was good.
And something that
Well, a lot of it
people
was like
ignore.
hardware limitations too.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was going to say that. Like something that people notice is the creativity and the effort that they put to like store all of that information in such small spaces. Like we have to sacrifice this song or this animation or this character, and they still come up in top.
yeah.
Like
Like
if you think
Pokemon
about it,
has until recently, Pokemon has always been like they pushed the limits of how much storage you could put onto a game cartridge. And now storage isn't even a question. Like it doesn't even matter. They can make it as big as they want. And that's sort of
mhm,
where the problem lies with Pokemon, is that like back in 2000, 2003, 2004, when Pokemon Coliseum came out, and even earlier with that with Pokemon Stadium, like they were limited, but they did a good job of translating those Pokemon from 2D sprites into 3D models. And
Mhm.
nowadays, like everything looks like it did, like it looks exactly the same as it did on the GameCube, which that doesn't mean that the GameCube looked bad, but like we're 20 years off now. Like there should be more, and
Mhm.
that's sort of
but
why
there is
people don't really like how Pokemon looks these days, is because when you're the highest grossing IP in the entire world, you expect a
Mhm.
little bit more effort into putting into the design.
but there
Yeah.
is something funny behind it. Like, okay, no one likes it, but let's say we have to make it look quote unquote better. How would you do it? I don't think that anyone can answer that. Because if you ask some people, I'm going to make it hyper realistic, everyone is going to say, fucking no. No, I'm going to make it super cute.
That that's
Everyone is going
actually
to say,
that's actually
Yeah, there's
something
gonna be
I've thought
people who are
about.
like, "Oh,
Uh,
it doesn't look like it did when I was a kid. I hate it now."
Exactly. So there is not a solution. Like many people
well,
is can say that is the
it's
worst, but is that the best that they can do or that we can do?
yeah, and that's sort of like I get where you're coming from, but it's not to say like it's not to say that I'm upset with the style that they chose. It's the amount of effort that they put in, right? Like
Mhm.
how like it can still be aesthetically the same, but they could put a lot more effort into the textures and in the animations and thing, like whatever goes on, right? Like Pokemon
But
jumped to 3D 10 years ago and hasn't changed at all since. And all they've done is just like up the resolution of everything, and it doesn't like I've and personally, like this would never happen. Like I've had this idea of like how they could solve that, and it would be to have like a dedicated department of the Pokemon company that is designed around um managing the image of Pokemon uh throughout all of the different games. And like that's all they do, is like they animate, they make sprite work, they make 3D models, they make key art, they make all like stuff for the advertisements and all that, and like they manage it between every Pokemon project.
no,
And
like even then it will be really hard to for them to do so because if they change the textures too much, it's going to be. But Pikachu isn't that furry or whatever. Like for example, look at the anime. Yes, it looks quote unquote nicer because they have nicer lines because there are new methods of animations. But if you compare the old ones, Pokemon's not the character, because if you compare fucking Ash Ketchum with the new one, it's totally different. But if you compare the Pokemons, they are almost the same. Like even if you have the team to do so, even little changes can lead to a different type of being.
well, that's sort of what I mean though, is to avoid like avoid having things drift too far away from what these Pokemon designs are supposed to be. Like people that can manage to make sure that like even the most overlooked Pokemon doesn't look like crap whenever it shows up. Like Coughing sucks these days in terms of how he looks because like the smoke effects just look like absolute shit. Like and there's got to be a better way to represent that and find out how they could do that across multiple things. And if they had a dedicated animation department or whatever you want to call it that can only focus on, you know, how Pokemon are going to look and how they're going to show up so that there's consistency across all media and it can still be like high quality so that we're not coming to making a different game and it's like, okay, now we have to completely redo all of the Pokemon in a certain way and redesign them and reanimate everything. You know, have something that can be easily, you know, transferred between what's
Yeah.
going on.
I'm just watching the fuck my brain, watching the link that Crab sent, and it hits me more like Monster Hunter vibes. But I just
Yep.
saw Mewtwo.
Yeah, I know. Mewtwo really threw me off in there
Like
too.
it's like tell me that isn't a fucking deck.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Well, that's. I mean, like, well, so the story behind all the designs in Detective Pikachu is that like they hired an animation director that did fan art like this, like realistic Pokemon, to help sort of you know like decide how these Pokemon should look, and of course they like rather than it just being this one person that's like, okay, I'm gonna make really realistic Pokemon. They conversed with other animation departments throughout the Pokemon company to actually like okay, like this should look like this wouldn't look like this, you know, like tweak the design so that not only do they look realistic, but they still look like recognizable enough that like you look at something and like, oh yeah, that's Mr. Mime, not just a fucked up homeless guy. Like
Yep.
Just so.
and if they had like an entire division of the Pokemon company that was dedicated to that sort of thing, I think the all new Pokemon games would look a lot better.
You know,
I feel like
funny
they're kind of
enough,
just trying the same thing.
no, but you know, funny enough, I'm that that movie. It's kind of uncanny, and watching the Sonic movie, I haven't watched it. Sorry, like looking at it in contrast, they need to be a little bit more cartoony because look at Sonic when they try to make it quote unquote realistic, and how it look at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, like
So
and that's sort of what I mean is like being able to make that like to maintain that so that not only does it look good, but it looks good for a wider audience. Because like sure, a lot of those fan arts that do realistic looking Pokemon look good, but not everybody's into like looking at what you know what disgusting horror a Pokemon would actually look like in real life, right? Like
you,
there's got to be a balance if we wanted to make this into a marketable product.
I
And
want
that's
real Pokemon or else.
yes.
uh, but yeah, like at the end of the story, like art is difficult, even if the simple one.
Yeah.
The moral of the story is no matter what you do, someone's going to whine and say you're bad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like I have seen a lot of people complain to professional artists, like, "Oh, look at this! You don't know proportions." And the most common comment is like, "Boobs don't look like that." I'm like, "Fuck you! It's drawing. He's drawing. Like you didn't do it. Like I bet you don't even like know how to do a straight line. So fuck off." And
Yeah.
many of those comments are like, no, that shouldn't be because that part is not that big, or that is not how faces work, or even in anime, no, like eyes aren't that big and stupid things like that. I'm like, okay, you are probably a art teacher and you know all the secrets and proportions of art, and you actually don't think that being like, how is it called?
I don't know. Sometimes jank art is just jank art, and it should be called out.
But
It-
yeah, like that is different. But when you
yeah,
see those,
it's very different. Like I saw this image or this thread on Twitter where an artist for the Spider-Man comic books is criticized for his depiction of Mary Jane on the cover of one of the issues. And so this other person goes and redraws the cover and is like, this is how women are supposed to look, and like this is, not the impossible standards of what they're trying to get us to do. And
Like
so
Spider-Man.
yeah, so then the artist comes back and he's like, you know what, how about I redraw your redraw and point out all the mistakes that you made, while at the same time explaining the reasons why I drew things like that in the first place.
like,
And so this guy, like, he's got the original cover, and then somebody redraws it, and then he takes that and he redraws their redraw so that that looks better as well. So you see that, like, these people are just shit at their job. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know where I was
Yeah, I
going
just
with
noticed
that.
that Exhibit started following us just now, Dan.
Exhibit.
but art is just subjective. Like even like what Brett said, that is janky art. Even that can be respected. Look at Beavis and Butthead, for example. That is very shitty art, quote unquote shitty art. But go and do it yourself. You are not going to replicate that.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Uh,
I,
call it shitty. I'd call it stylized.
exact.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's different from just going to Rule 34 and seeing some crudely drawn Microsoft Paint boobies of your
But
favorite
not
IP.
Yeah.
not even that. No, like okay, yes, there is like a fine line when you say like this is just someone trying their first time and doesn't care enough, but at the same time there is like a finer line when you see like this is not a good drawing, but it's still art because I know that that person put the max amount of effort that they could.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's still like you can tell if it's an amateur put in their effort, and like they tried their best. You
Mhm.
like, if you've been around art enough, you can usually tell the difference, right? If somebody's put in a lot of effort, that doesn't necessarily make it objectively good. Like,
Nothing is objectively good, but yes, I understand.
yeah, I mean, that's a whole other argument entirely, but like, they like, it doesn't have to look perfect to be good, right? Like, there's
You know what
this,
is the best? You know what
this
is the best example of that? The work of Leonardo da Vinci. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. Sorry.
No, you got it.
yeah, that's
Really?
correct. He is
As in
called
Spanish?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Okay, Leonardo. Okay, sorry. Little difference. The Man of Vitruvio, I think it's called. I don't know how it's called
yeah,
in
that's
English.
correct.
Vitruvian Man, yeah.
Vitruvian Man. Thank you very much. That is the best example that when something is so perfect, it's uncanny.
Yeah.
Because if you watch too much that drawing, it starts to bother you because so perfect that it is.
Well, that's
No one
that's that's like Giga Chad. Like,
exactly like, but at this, no one is so perfect as that drawing. That is just the subjective interpretation of the perfect body.
perfect
But
proportions, yeah.
yeah, perfect proportions of the body, not the perfect body, and it makes it weird because no one is like that. Not even like the Mega Chat. He has a slightly longer fingers and a slightly longer forehead and things like that. Even his chin doesn't add to the perfect proportions, and
Yeah.
that makes it uncanny. And no one can be perfect on Earth because it will be even weirder.
Well, you're saying the Giga Chad can't exist.
No, because even he is imperfect.
You just
Yeah,
got to keep getting gains and gains and gains until you're so big you can't get any more gains.
his perfectly cut body and chiseled jaw are just too perfect to understand that he's an actual person. Like most people when they first see that, they're like, is that guy photoshopped? And then you learn that it's a real person, and it's like, oh, he's hot, but in like a very objective way. And I don't know if I don't know if I'm down for that. Like what makes people attractive is also their imperfections, right? When this dude is just like the perfect embodiment of what like peak performance should look like, you're just like, that's like that guy can't exist.
Exactly. When something is so perfect, it's even weirder. So yay!
So the moral of the story is be a fat ass, don't be a Chad, and have some ice cream. I like this
Yes,
idea.
have
It's the
imperfections
American dream.
and eat ice cream.
The American dream is apple pie, and it got ruined
And
by communists.
if this message goes to anyone else, love yourself. Learn how to see yourself as a normal person. Like no one is perfect. Like oh, I don't have an eye. My cheek is slightly higher than someone else's, or my nose is too big in comparison to others. Like that is normal.
Why was item 1 on your list? I don't have an eye.
Didn't we
Because
discuss
that
this
is how
yesterday?
Yeah, why couldn't it be like your left butt cheek is slightly heavier than your right butt cheek?
because that is how I fucking identify. I don't. My right eye
Y-
doesn't fucking work.
Yeah,
So it's
we
the
talked
first thing.
about this yesterday when he discussed his issues
I
with getting his eye examined.
It's the
I
first thing.
understand that, but I don't think it's a broad-reaching category
But I know
that
that is
most
not a
people
broad.
identify with.
Yes, but when you are giving examples, there is most likely you are going to give examples of what you are familiar with.
There are lots of cats that are missing eyes, and they are always cute. I have never
That's
Then
because
seen a
I'm
they're
not
cat
a cat
fluffy.
missing
girl.
an eye that
Then
isn't
I'm
cute.
not a cat girl.
They're
I,
also
I
fluffy.
guess I'm just saying you could have went for like being white and pasty, but you're like, yeah, my missing eye.
That's something everybody will be able to relate to.
I mean, it's my quirk. It's my thing, you know.
You can wear an eye patch. Like,
I mean,
I'd say look
let's.
on the bright side, but it might be too bright for your one eye.
You don't want to damage it.
No, but that can be bright. Like I can spook children with my one eye and my eye patch. Like go on Halloween and scaring children. Like, look,
Is
this
it
happens when you don't wash your face, and show them the whole of my face.
so?
This
Is
is
it
what
the
happens
eye
when you
doesn't
don't eat
work,
your
or is it just?
vegetables.
Woo!
Yeah, my
He
question
cares.
is: does the eye work, just not work, or is it like gone?
No, so you have seen my image, my photo, and if by looking at the photo you cannot see that my eye is gone, but my for me to be able to see through my right eye, the object has to be 3 centimeters far from the eye.
Yeah, but I just meant like, some people they'll have like a glass eye, so you can't really tell unless you
So
know what
how
it looks
how
like
this is
here.
going to evolve is that I have like a lesson, like a fracture on the eye, and it's getting worse and worse. Eventually, that fracture is going to get so big that I'm going to lose my eye, literally. So eventually, I'm going to need or a glass eye or an eye patch.
So which do you want to look like? A normal person or a pirate?
I want to look like
Is that
Nadia.
is that really a question around here? Hey, Fallen, do you want to have an excuse to wear an eye patch? I mean, it's gonna suck, but like your options are like
You
At
know,
least,
it wouldn't suck at all. If I get the transplant, the cornea transplant to make my eyesight better and fix the problem, I will be like, nice. I can see with both my eyes.
yeah,
If I lose the eye, it will be like, okay, it's just another fucking normal day of my life because I have dealing with this like since 3 4 years ago. So it's just another normal life on my life.
yeah. Like if push comes to shove and you end up losing it, at least you can take it, like try and deal with the situation in a positive way. And if that means you can invest money into like an authentic looking like Majima eye patch and be Majima for the rest of your life, then fuck it. At least you got some good out of it. You know, at
Being
least
Majima.
there are heroes out there that we can look up to with certain disabilities like missing an eye. Like
And
Majima, he's out there, he's doing the Lord's work.
yes. And
Problem is, he
many
can't look back very good. He doesn't have the depth perception for it.
Well,
no,
he
even
he
no,
can't look
that
around
doesn't
corners very well if it's on the wrong side.
exactly. But the problem is not depth perception because you get used to it. Like how it works is, yeah, the second eye helps you to determine how far an object is, but everything is still 3D. You losing an eye doesn't mean that you are going to start to see things on 2 dimensions.
Well,
So
I think the feedback is entirely what gives you like your
no,
distance.
yes and no, because you get so used to the environment, and I'm speaking from experience, that you just eyeball it like, okay, yeah, that is half a meter away. So you know how much that is by just feeling it. Depth perception is not a problem when you just have one eye because you get used to it.
People do acclimate to it, says Ree. And she knows
How
she
funny!
likes medicine stuff.
How funny would it be though if you gave him one of those depth perception tests where like you cover one of your eyes, you do the match figure thing, and they're like, because we have 2 eyes, we fail. When you give it to him, and he still fucking fails.
I mean, that is how I have lived through my life, and I haven't stumbled through things or fall to the ground because I don't see the rock that I'm going to stand on. So
Ree says a friend's brother only had vision in one eye and he still has a driver's license. So there you
exactly,
go,
like
Fallen. You can learn to drive still. You're good.
like like at the start when you have your both eyes working, it's fucking weird. Like you stumble upon everything, you fall a lot, you fail to catch things, but that is for like a week or two at max.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna be it. We'll leave it on that positive note of
Before we
Fallen
fuck
looking
it up.
forward. Fallen looking forward to losing his eye.
Yes.
Well,
And becoming
I
a
want to ask, was it sudden? Like, oh shit, my eye doesn't work all of a sudden, or was it
I
just
mean,
slowly like, hey, this eye sucks?
I mean, I think it was sudden because I didn't notice it. The one that
No,
told me that was the doctor.
yeah, that's the opposite of sudden.
No, because I didn't notice it. Like,
If it was sudden, you would notice it because it's a very sharp contrast
okay, my understanding
versus
was like something
gradual.
sudden was like in sudden increments, but okay, yeah.
No,
Okay, I get
yeah,
it.
that would be gradual.
Okay, no, but it was. I think it was gradual, but I don't know since
If
when
I
or.
woke up tomorrow and I was blind in one eye, and I
Uh-huh.
freaked out and went to the doctor and was like, "Yo, I'm blind in one eye," that would be sudden.
No, so it was along the time. It wasn't sudden then.
Okay. All
Like,
right.
I don't know.
That's gonna be it for us. I'm getting sleepy and hungry.
You're getting afraid that we start to fuck it up and start talking about very dumb shit again.
And then we're gonna be here for another half hour. We're gonna go over time, and it's not gonna work with the YouTube algorithm, and our podcast will never take off.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what's gonna hold us back.
Absolutely. If it's not me, it's the YouTube algorithm. That's why I'm not popular on Twitch. YouTube algorithm.
It's not the child porn, it's the YouTube algorithm. Okay, got it.
All right.
Mhm.
Thanks for joining me, guys. It was
Yeah.
good fun.
Okay, we have
And
a
Stay,
homework
stay
for the next
tuned for
time.
I Hope Mario Party.
Yes. Also, we have to get a script for the next one, as I see.
I mean, I always like to suggest maybe, having something to talk about. The next podcast will apparently be in 3 weeks, which will be September 4th. So it's coming
I gotta
faster
come
than you
in.
expect.
I gotta come in. I'm like, all right, Dan. I have a script now. Observe. Child porn.
He wrote down child
This
porn on a
concludes
piece
my
of paper.
God damn it! You should have stopped this madness like 10 minutes ago. But yeah.
You probably click the button to not go live no more.
I will take that as a yes.
All right, I've written my script. Call me Ishmael. Some years ago, never mind how long precisely, having little or no money in my purse and nothing particular of interest to me on shore, I thought I would set sail for a little and see the watery part of the world. It was a way I have of driving off the spleen and regulating circulation. Whenever I find myself growing grim from the mouth, and whenever it is damp, drizzly November in my soul, whenever I find myself involuntarily pausing before coffin warehouses and bringing up the rear of every funeral I meet, and especially whenever my hypos get such... Okay, that's it. Have a good night, everybody.